today I'm going to be doing a popular books that I haven't read yet. Now, I did a video of popular series that I haven't read yet. This is kind of like a series a little bit. I already did popular series that I haven't read yet. I'm gonna do popular books that I haven't read yet, popular series that I haven't finished yet, and I also want to do popular series that I have finished, and maybe I'll do a popular books that I have read. So actually, first I do want to say that this list is very loose. This is kind of my definition of popular books. So basically books that I see very often in the community that like I own. Like they don't have to be like super popular like The Cruel Prince and ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, like not that kind of popular, but just like any books that I see a lot in the booktube community. Also, I do want to say that I'm so sorry for not explaining what these books are about, but I've had these books on my bookshelves for so long, so it's like I kind of just know the bare minimum, because I do buy books and I just forget what they're about because I like to go into books not knowing what they're about. Like I don't do any I don't read reviews before, I don't watch review videos, like I don't even read like the description of books. I hear about them on booktube and then I buy them and I put them on my bookshelf and then I forget what they're about. It's very strange, but okay, so the first book that I have is To Kill a Kingdom. This book isn't like super popular, but it is pretty decently popular. I know that this book is a Little Mermaid retelling, and I know that it has a lot of mixed reviews, but for some reason I really love the cover, and I love The Little Mermaid. When I was in 9th grade, yes, 9th grade, I was so obsessed with Little Mermaid. I used to draw Ariel and Prince Eric so much. Like I used to rewatch the movie so much just so I can sing my favorite song, Kiss the Girl and Under the Sea. Like I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid, okay? I of course had to get this book, and I only know that it's a Little Mermaid retelling. That's about it. Next book that I have is We Are the Ants, and my sister read this book and she hates it, so I've kind of been pushing on reading it. But I know like a lot of people love this book because it touches on like depression and a lot of important topics like bullying, and the main character is gay, and it's just like a very important book in certain people's lives. But like I said, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. The next book I have is Fangirl, and I got this exclusive collector's edition because I just had to have it. Like the artwork inside of it is so beautiful. The cup on the cover, it has like the little tassel thingy for reading, and I know it has artwork in the back of the book as well, and I just love that. And I haven't even read the book. I have read Carry On. I'm not really a fan of Carry On. Like I don't love Carry On as much as everyone else does, so I've kind of been like hesitant on picking this up. But my sister loved it, and my sister read it and she loved it. And I know a lot of people who like don't even really read contemporary really loves this book. So I don't know, I'm very much a mood reader, and I just haven't been in the mood to read this. The next book that I have is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I know that Natalie over at Pages and Panels loves this book. I started to read it. I think I was starting to read it for a readathon. I read like one chapter and then I was like, no. It's not that I hated it. I actually really enjoyed the chapter that I read. Actually, I think I read 2 chapters. I really enjoyed the chapters that I read, but let me see if I still have a bookmark in here. Oh yeah, I've read 2 chapters. So I really enjoyed the chapters that I read. I don't know, sometimes I'll pick up a book, read 2 chapters and just put it down and not pick it up for a while. So maybe I wasn't in like the mood to read it. All I know is I am a huge fan of Charlie Bowater. Like I love their artwork so much. So basically any book cover that they're done, I'm gonna snatch it. Like I'm gonna buy it just to support them. So I don't know, I'm really trying to get into sci-fi, because I love sci-fi movies. I read The Knife of Never Letting Go and I absolutely adored it. So like I just want to get into more sci-fi, and I think that this will help, but for some reason I just haven't been in the mood to read it. Next book that I have is Carabao, and I did spray these edges. If you want to see how I spray my edges, you should definitely go check out my DIY sprayed book edges, which I'll leave in the description box. But yes, I do want to read Carabao because I adore this cover so much, and I know that the last book finale finally came out. I just really adore this book cover and like everything about it, like the ticket on the back, and I don't know. I remember when this book first came out, like before I joined the booktube, like when this book came out, and I was just like an observer in the booktube community. Like I was just watching videos. I didn't upload. I didn't have a channel. Like I was just a watcher. And I remember everyone talking about this book, and I really, really, really want to read it. And then I bought it, and I was just kind of like, when I first started buying, like starting my book collection, I was just buying books that I knew that I wanted to read, but not really reading them because I am very much a mood reader. And then we have this big, thick girl, The Pottery of the Orange Tree, which I did paint these edges. The pages are stuck together, so I mean it's gonna be a while until I read this book. I didn't buy the sprayed edges edition because the girl is poor, so I bought orange paint and I painted the edges myself. I should have bought orange spray paint, but I didn't. So the pages are stuck together. So I mean that's one excuse I have for not reading this book. Another excuse is this book is heavy, guys. Like she is thick, but I love dragons. Like I'm absolutely obsessed with dragons, so of course like I should definitely read this book, but I don't know, like it's just so big and it's so hard to hold that I haven't really gotten into it. And I want to buy the audiobook, but like I said, I'll have to buy it because I don't have an Audible membership and I only have $1 in my bank account right now. So the struggle is real for your girl, okay? The struggle is really real. The next book that I have is Shadow and Bone. I read Six of Crows. I wasn't really feeling Six of Crows like everyone else did, so I figured why not start over by reading the first trilogy, then Six of Crows, then I read King of Scars. So yes, also I really want Language of Thorns because I just think that the artwork in that is so beautiful. But anyways, I'm ready to be Darkling Trash because y'all know I am a whore for villains, okay? Like I love villains, so I need to read Shadow and Bone so I can be a Darkling stan. I'm like 17 pages into this book. I started this book like in December, picked it up, put it down, never read it again. I'm supposed to be reading this book for the Scallywagathon. We're currently 3 days into Scallywagathon and I haven't read a single book. So, but I mean, I'm ready to be Darkling Trash. I'm ready to be Nikolai Trash too, but next I have Skyward, which is also sci-fi, and I really wanted to get into it because I read a Neil Shusterman book. What other book did he write? So Neil Shusterman wrote Unwind, and like I read it in school my 11th grade year, and then we read the second one in my 12th grade year. But 11th grade year, like that was my favorite book that I read the year. Like I loved Unwind so much. So I feel like Neil Shusterman will be a favorite author of mine. I also want to be read Dry by him because I will say that his book covers are very, very like aesthetically pleasing to me. I don't know why, but I'm ready to be a Neil Shusterman stan. I also have A Darker Shade of Magic, which I read 2 chapters of. I listened to the audiobook, but I stopped because I wasn't in an audiobook mood. Like that will happen to me sometimes. Like I'll just not be in the mood to read an audiobook. I'm ready to get into this because it has so much hype around it, and I want to get like collector's editions, and I want to be like trash for the characters in this book. I'm very, very nervous to get into it though because I did not like Vicious as much as I thought I would, which is another book by V. Schwab if you happen to live under a rock. I read Vicious and I didn't really like it. I read City of Ghosts and I didn't really like that either. So I'm very, very scared. Like, not that I hated them, I just didn't love them as much as I thought I was. Like, they weren't my all-time favorite books like I expected them to be. So I'm just very nervous to get into them. I'm not sure if I put this in my popular series that I haven't read, because the series isn't complete yet and I tried to stick to like series that were complete in that video, but I have not read Nevernight yet. I also sprayed the edges black for this one, but I haven't read it yet. I read 2 chapters and I just put it down because I just wasn't in the mood to read at that point. I know that like I'm gonna love J. Kristoff's writing. One of my Funko Pops fell, so love that. So I have The Last Magician, which isn't like super popular, but a lot of people have been reading it lately and I just love this cover so much. And I wasn't gonna read it because one booktuber explained this book to me like in a video, and they made it sound like very, very boring. Not boring, but they just made it sound like something that I wouldn't like personally, so I wrote it off. But then I'm trying to do this thing where I don't let other people's recommendations like cloud whether I buy a book or not, because the way a person explains a book, I don't know how to explain it, but they could just explain like their favorite parts of the book, and then I don't know if I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. I'm an idiot, okay? Everything everything makes sense in like my brain with my 2 brain cells, but then when I say it out loud, I'm kind of just like, Mayana, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know, so I'm just gonna put the book down and we're gonna go on to the next book. The next book is The Diviners, which a lot of people compare The Last Magicians and The Diviners, but I got this beautiful edition from Amazon. I got it on Amazon Prime for $19. The original book was $40, but Amazon Prime came through for your girl and I got it for $19, and it's exclusive. She's exclusive, okay? She's exclusive. So to me, that sounds like this is gonna be my favorite book. Like, The Diviners might just be my brand, you know, like I'm posing for when this becomes my favorite book. And I gotta make like a a profile picture. But yeah, The Diviners might just be like my all-time favorite book. I don't know, me in the series, we're gonna be besties. And I mean, of course, nothing will replace The Cruel Prince, so don't get me wrong on that one. But this girl, y'all better watch out. Then I also have The Poppy War, which I've been scared to read The Poppy War. Like, I didn't even buy it. Like, I just bought this book recently, but before I didn't even think about buying this book because it just felt like it was such a complex read, and that if I read it, I was gonna be too dumb to understand what was going on in this book. But when I went to Barnes & Noble with Jake, my best friend, which you should check out his channel because he has one, me and Jake went to Barnes & Noble and I read the first page of this book, and I was like, the first sentence literally says, take your clothes off. And I was like, I stand, let me buy this. So I read the first page and I really, really liked it. And I went to go pick this book up literally last month to read. I was checking how many chapters, pages were in a chapter. I was like, oh no, too many pages in chapters for me. I don't know why, but it's I will speed through a book with short chapters, but when a book has long chapters, it's literally gonna take me forever to read it. I don't know why. My brain, I told you guys, I'm an idiot. I also have The Wicked Saints, which is recently popular, and I have this arc, but I've been scared to read this because like I said, for The Poppy War, this seemed to be such a complex read. I opened the book and it was so confusing for me to understand, and I felt really bad for not reading this book before it came out so I could review it and all this stuff. But I read the first 2 chapters and it was just so confusing to me, and it's one of those fantasy reads that tries to be really, really hard to understand. And I don't know if the author wanted that in general or if it just came out like that, but the book cover is so beautiful, and the spine is beautiful, and I need the hardcover because under the hardcover is so beautiful, but like I said, it just seems to be like such a complex book. And when I get into those kind of fantasies, like I need to really be in the mood for them, and I just haven't been in the mood for, like, I don't want to call it a high fantasy, but so another popular book that I haven't read, and this one is popular because it's controversial, but the Hazelwood. I really just want to read this book because this is one of my favorite covers that I own. Like, it's so beautiful. But I remember books with Cindy. I remember Read with Cindy talked about this book in like one of her wrap-ups or one of her very first videos, and it convinced me to buy it because I just wanted to go in it with like an open mind, or with looks or just in general, and the book might surprise me. I also have Ash Princess, which isn't that popular. Like, it's not like super popular, but a pretty popular book. It's not like someone's all-time favorite, or what that I know of, like no people that I'm subscribed to at least. I was supposed to read this book back in like October or September as like a buddy read, but if I'm not in the mood to buddy read, your girl's just not in the mood to buddy read, and I'm not gonna force it. And it was supposed to be a group buddy read too, but like I said, I cannot force myself to read anything that I'm not feeling like reading, which is why I kind of suck at readathons and why I suck at having the TBR. But that's a conversation for another day. Okay, so the last book that I have on my list is Renegades, which I also sprayed the edges red, and if you want to see it, then you should check out my DIY spray edges video. But yeah, I started to read the Renegades, that's not the title. I started to read Renegades, and I even made it like a group book for my readathon, the Biblio games. And if you want to know more about that, you should check out a link that I'll leave down below so you can learn what the Biblio games is. And I got to like chapter 2 in it, and I actually really loved it, but I wasn't in the mood to read it. So like I said, I cannot force myself to read books that I don't want to read. So yeah, that is it for this video. If there are any like popular books on this list that you like loved and you want to talk about it and you want me to read it, I probably won't because I'm a mood reader, but you could talk about it in a description box and fangirl about it and tell me to read it 1,000 times, and I'll be like, haha, okay, I will, but I really won't because I can't read on command. I can't force myself to read anything I don't feel like reading. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Check out the Biblio games announcement video, and check out my DIY spray edges video. And I mean, while you're at it, you might as well like subscribe and check out all of my other videos too. I mean, while you're at it, I'm just saying.